we've been talking about how it's absolutely crucial that for us to progress as a nation, we leave no one behind. And not just as tokenism, where we talk about inclusion because it's a fancy thing to talk about, but something that we actually do with our hearts and our minds, and bear in mind that we really need to do this if we want to have what is called true progress. We have a guest with us, very special, Sanjeev Bhargava, founder director of Seher Festivals. Mr. Bhargava, when we talk about leaving no one behind and we talk about how to be inclusive, we talked about people with different abilities, we talked about the trans community, we've spoken about a whole lot of things. But in this pandemic, one of the groups that were hardest hits were a lot of our artisans, our craftspeople, our weavers, our musicians. And while there's sort of support maybe for small industries and companies that go belly up, they have insurance, maybe government will give them bailouts. Our artists, like, what do we do? How do we do this, and how important is this to bear in mind?
Well, first of all, we must see that the artists have really suffered. And I'm talking on behalf of not just the artisans who live in villages, but I'm talking on behalf of classical dancers, musicians, painters, weavers, and all the other people. And the world over, the state, that means the central government and the state government, they come to the help of the artists and the artisans, because they are your true strength. Other countries can replicate anything, but can they replicate what the weavers have done? Or a perfect Odissi or a Bharatanatyam dance? They can't. The Chinese have tried many years. Japanese have tried, but I don't think they can get into the real nuances of Bharatanatyam and Kathak and Drupad singing. So these artists have really suffered, because they have, these people live from wage to wage, from day to day, performance to performance. And imagine if there are no performances, what do they do? I would request, the way out is to think out of the box and to really think that CSR is the way to go. There are companies, there are corporates who are not affected so badly by the pandemic. It's important for them to come out and help, the artisans, the village, the tribal musicians and others. So really the CSR is the key. How you can actually use the CSR for promotion and preservation and propagation of these kind of people. Some companies are doing it, but I would urge our state and the central government to really give them subsidies and whatever help they can. On the other side, when the things become normal and people start coming on stage again, I would urge this government to eradicate and to exempt income tax, GST from all performing and visual arts, if that may help.